Hi, and welcome to Headspace for Fear of Flying. So, whether you're just about to fly or whether you're already on the plane, just take a moment to get as comfortable as you can, preferably sitting upright and just taking a nice big deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In fact, do that just a couple of times. As you breathe in, make it as deep as you can. And as you exhale, just feeling the body sinking down into the chair, the seat beneath you. And then just allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Now this is really important, allow the mind to think. Even if the thoughts are of worry, fear, just allow those thoughts to come and go. We're just going to leave the mind to do its own thing for a moment as we just focus the attention on the body and the feelings and the sensations in the body. Start off by just feeling that contact between the body and the seat, the feet on the floor, the hands and the arms just resting on the legs. Notice which sensation in the body is strongest right now, even if it's an uncomfortable sensation. Just bringing your attention to that feeling, not thinking about it, but just resting the attention on that feeling. As you rest the attention, noticing the quality of that feeling, whether it's a sense of tension, whether it's a sense of movement, whether it feels like it's something solid or changing, but just noticing. Again, allow the mind to do whatever it needs to do, allow it to think. And then just bring the attention to that feeling of the feet on the floor. That is your anchor. That feeling, that sensation of the feet resting on the floor. A sensation that you can come back to at any time. It's not ignoring the thoughts. We're giving the mind space to think. But at the same time, we have a place to come back to. A sensation where we can just rest the mind. Hi, and welcome to Headspace for Fear of Flying. So no matter whether you're just about to fly or whether you're already on the plane, just take a moment to get as comfortable as you can, preferably sitting upright. And just take a couple of nice big deep breaths. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So no matter what thoughts are around, no matter what's going on, just take a couple of nice big deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Just one more time, and this time, as you exhale, gently closing the eyes and just feeling the weight of your body pressing down into the seat beneath you, supported by the seat beneath you. Feeling the contact of your feet resting on the floor, supported by the floor beneath you. And the feeling of the hands and the arms just resting on the legs. Again, their weight supported by the legs. And you can just allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. So knowing that it's perfectly normal for these thoughts of worry, anxiety or fear to arise in the mind. Not trying to get rid of them, not trying to shut them up, just allowing them to arise, allowing them to come and go. We're going to give the mind all the space it needs to think. But we're going to focus our attention on the body. So again, allow thoughts to come and go, but just begin to notice how the body feels. Whether there are any areas that feel particularly relaxed, or perhaps areas that feel particularly tense in some way. And we're not thinking about the feeling, we're just noticing how the body feels. If there's a particular area that stands out, and just bringing the attention to that area, just gently resting the focus on that area. Noticing whether the area feels heavy or light. Whether there's a sense of space or perhaps constriction. And also noticing whether it feels as though there's a sense of movement in that area, or if it feels sort of stuck in some way. And just gently resting the attention on that feeling, allowing thoughts to come and go. Remember, at any time, if you feel uncomfortable, you can just gently open your eyes and have a break. But otherwise, just settling in to that feeling and starting to shift the focus now down towards the feet. And that sensation of the feet on the floor. Noticing where you feel the contact the most, whether it's on the heels, the toes, the inside, or the outside of the foot. And having this place of contact, this sensation as your anchor, a place to come back to at any time. So again, this isn't about avoiding the thoughts. We allow the thoughts to come and go. We don't get involved in them. We just bring our attention to this sensation of the feet on the floor. Just resting the mind there. Not focusing too intently, but just allowing the mind to rest. Hi, and welcome to this Headspace exercise on fear of flying. Now, this particular exercise is designed to be done before you begin your journey, before you actually get on the plane. So perhaps you're sitting in the airport right now, anticipating the journey ahead, and perhaps worrying in some way about that journey. Now, the important thing to say about fear of flying is that no amount, and you'll know this already, no amount of rational kind of argument or logic is ever going to change the way you feel. Doesn't really kind of matter, and that's not how anxiety works. So even if we know that logically, rationally, that we're going to be safe, there will still be an element of worry, of underlying anxiety, which in turn drives anxious thoughts. So we need to find a way to step out of that cycle. So usually what happens is this. So a thought arises in the mind. What if this happens? The body, recognizing that that's an anxious type of thought, starts to respond to that thought. So we start to feel a little bit uneasy in some way. Perhaps we feel as though we sort of butterflies in our stomach, or maybe the body feels a little bit tense or tight. In turn, the mind then recognizes that as a signal of feeling a little bit anxious. So it produces a few more anxious thoughts, which in turn causes a reaction in the body, and so the cycle continues. And this happens incredibly quickly. So it can happen within kind of moments, within seconds, So it's almost as though the anxiety kind of gets up and running, and once it has a bit of momentum, it's really hard to even imagine being able to let that go or step out of it. But of course, at any moment in time, we're able to step out of that cycle. And there's a way of doing that. I'm going to show you in this exercise how you can leave behind those thoughts, be a little more present in the body so that you're not deliberately trying to get away from those thoughts. You're still allowing those thoughts to come and go, to exist. You're not suppressing them or pushing them down. Instead, you're just kind of leaving them to do their own thing, almost to sort of fade out, and instead just focusing your attention on a place in the body. So to begin with, I'd just like you to find a quiet place where you can sit without being disturbed. Doesn't matter about the noise going on around you, that's fine. But starting off, sitting upright with the eyes open, not staring at any one thing, but just aware of the space around you. And then when you're ready, just taking some nice big deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you may notice that even as you try to do this, there's a sense of worry. If you're worrying about the flight, you'll probably be worrying about this exercise as well. That's perfectly natural. But just taking some nice big deep breaths, strong breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. At this point, we're not doing any more than that. Just breathing in through the nose, noticing how the body expands as it fills with air. And in the same way, noticing how it contracts, how it relaxes, softens as you exhale. And with the next out breath, you can just gently close the eyes if you'd like to. Now, in closing the eyes, we're not only going to be more aware of our thinking, we're also going to be more aware of our other senses. So the sensation of touch, hearing. I'd like you to first place your attention on that sensation of touch, and in particular, the contact between the body and the seat beneath you and the feet on the floor. So particularly important in this exercise. In fact, as you place your attention on the seat beneath you, just notice whether the weight falls evenly down through the body or whether you're perhaps sat leaning more on one side than the other, more forward than back. Without moving around too much, just making sure that the weight is distributed evenly and that you're very clear about that feeling of contact of the body pressing down, feeling grounded on the seat. In the same way, just noticing the sensation of the feet on the ground. And again, whether the weight is more on the heel, the toe, the inside, or the outside of the foot. You can also just start to notice the different sounds around you. So often we think that sounds perhaps get in the way of a quiet mind, or we even, if we're worried in some way, we even start to listen out for sounds that might help fuel that type of thinking. But in this case, we just allow ourselves to settle into the different sounds around us. Not listening out for anything in particular, not resisting anything in particular, but just allowing sounds to come and go. So I'd just like you to notice now how the body is feeling. So not thinking about it, but just noticing. So as you bring your attention to your chest, just noticing whether it feels heavy or light, whether it feels relaxed or tight. And just try doing that as you move down through the body, going from the top of the head all the way down to the toes. Again, not thinking about the sensations, but just noticing a sense of curiosity, how the body feels. Of course, thoughts are going to bubble up the moment you see them. Just acknowledging them, letting them go, and coming back to that feeling in the body as you move down towards the toes. So feeling a sense of being grounded and confident in just being present with those feelings, with those sensations in this moment as you work all the way down towards the toes. And then just bringing the attention back again. And you can choose either the feeling of the body on the seat or the feet on the floor. So this is a constant now in the airport and also when you're on the plane. It's a shortcut of coming back to the present moment. When your mind is with that sensation and really with that sensation, then nothing else exists. No other thoughts, no other fears. There is only the sensation. The mind recognizes that. It takes it as something positive and therefore feels more comfortable. In turn, the body recognizes that and we start to get into a positive cycle instead. So whenever you see the mind wandering off, seeing it wander, you can just note it if you like, just mentally, oh, okay, that's thinking. And then come back again to that feeling and just rest your attention there, not in a forced way, in any sense at all, but just resting the attention, the focus in that place and allowing both the body and mind to get comfortable. So knowing that you always have that place to come back to, now you can just gently open your eyes in your own time, become more familiar with the space around you, and get up whenever you're ready. And I wish you a really good flight ahead.